Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, will the game have multiplayer? The release of Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, a first-person action-adventure game, is highly anticipated by the gaming community. Avatar has been in development for the past few years by Massive Entertainment, the developers of Frontiers of Pandora. An immersive, open-world experience is set to bring to life the alluring world of Pandora, with all of its beauty and danger. In addition to the gameplay, players can now take on the role of a Nausicaa and embark on a journey across the western frontier, a previously unknown region of Pandora. Fans of the game, on the other hand, will undoubtedly be curious to learn whether the game will include any multiplayer elements. Frontiers of Pandora will feature a standalone story. According to Ubisoft, Frontiers of Pandora will follow an original story that takes place in the universe of Avatar, with an entirely new cast of characters. Players will embody a Nausicaa, the blue humanoid creatures of the series, and embark on a journey across the western frontier, a never-before-seen part of Pandora. Unique creatures will populate this landscape and provide players with hunting and befriending opportunities, but the primary antagonists, as with Avatar itself, will be the forces of the Resources Development Administration, RDA, the humans intent on destroying the natural Nausicaa environment. Early looks at gameplay have shown off a gorgeous, explorable world inspired by real-life rainforests. Each facet of this land glimmers, from the grassy fields to the blue, cloudy skies. Will Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora have multiplayer? In an unannounced announcement at Ubisoft Forward 2021, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora was announced, and there have been teases of co-op multiplayer, so friends can join forces to battle the unknown foe. However, Ubisoft has not yet stated whether the game will contain multiplayer elements, at the time of writing. With that being said, there's an early glimpse of the game where two Nausicaa work together to bring down an RDA helicopter, which suggests there could be some type of multiplayer component even if it's just for a few moments throughout the campaign rather than a full-fledged multiplayer mode. Despite that, the multiplayer mode in Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora has not been officially confirmed, but there's also a shot of several characters flying through the air together in the trailer. Will Frontiers of Pandora connect with Avatar 2? At this stage, the game is referred to as a standalone story. That likely means it won't have any connection to Avatar 2, The Way of Water. While games like these typically have a cameo or two as fun nods to existing fans, it's unknown if any characters will appear at this stage. You can certainly expect the adventure to be inspired by Avatar lore, however, with several of the creatures and plants included in the game's first trailer originating in the 2009 film. You likely won't need to have watched the upcoming sequel to understand this game, but if you haven't seen Avatar, Ubisoft has yet to go in depth with the gameplay of Frontiers of Pandora, but the early cinematic trailer has hinted at some of the weapons and abilities players will have. In lore, Nausicaa are experienced hunters, and often carry tools like bows, clubs, and spears at their side. The game's combat will likely take this into account via a range of playing styles. The trailer also showed a Nausicaa hero jumping onto a flying mountain banshee, also known as an Ikran, and firing arrows using a bow, which implies players will be able to take to the skies and explore the world of Pandora from an aerial view, while also performing mid-air attacks. While cinematic trailers don't necessarily reflect the reality of games, it's unlikely Ubisoft would shine a spotlight on this combat style if it wasn't going to be a major part of the upcoming game. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora has been described as a first-person action-adventure game that brings Pandora to life through an immersive, open-world experience. If the trailer's sweeping planes and wide-angle shots weren't enough to convince you, Ubisoft has now confirmed, yes, this title will be open-world. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora release date. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is set to launch by the end of Ubisoft's next financial year, which means it will likely arrive between April 2023 and April 2024. Living up to the box office-breaking Avatar name is a major task for developer Massive Entertainment, And while the game was originally announced for 2022, the scope of the task has now led to a major delay. When it launches, the game will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and Windows PC. In select regions, it will also be playable via streaming on Amazon Luna and Google Stadia.